Travis Wayne Goodsell. So I've been doing videos from my bed, and you can see the top bunk, and it shows the evidence of the drug residue that's poisoning me. I've not been able to accurately catch it. I don't know, maybe at night, maybe I can do a video that'll show it. But if you've ever experienced a fire in a building, even if it's contained in a single room, the smoke residue carries throughout the whole building. And that's what's happening here, is that the guys do the drugs in the bathroom and in the showers, but the drug residue from the smoke carries to the whole building. And so there's the evidence right here, and that falls on my computer as little white flakes of powder of some kind. But we're not talking about that. The church has announced that for Easter Sunday, church services will be for just an hour. And the reason for that is church is on the Easter is on the 9th of April, which is the week after conference, and thus the need to explain to Mormons the obvious. Everybody knows Easter and Christmas, if it's on Sunday, it's 1 hour service. And oftentimes, Christmas was going to be a 1 hour service regardless of what day of the week it was, because it's the end of the year. But nonetheless, I just earlier did the video for you about interpreting Revelation, as all scriptures are revelation. The book of Revelation, book of Apocalypse, they are written by the Jews, and so they are not literal history. It was Constantine who created Christianity, who replaced the Jewish scriptures as literal history. So it's exactly what Brigham Young did to Joseph Smith. Joseph Smith was all things Jewish. Brigham Young comes and has everything turned into Christian with Jesus. And so then you're probably wondering, well, what then is with the story about the death and the burial and the resurrection and ascension? Yeah, they're all symbols, guys. And it's something that the church does not want you to know about, even though they know about it. And I know they know about it because Heber C. Kimball knew about it. And I knew he knew about it because of what he says in his Wikipedia page under Masonry. He knows. And that's why he had Joseph Smith murdered and took over the church with Brigham Young. And so, to understand this, you need to first remember that Jesus is Emmanuel, from the Jewish prophecy from Deuteronomy of a man like Moses. Isaiah gives him the name of Emmanuel because it's the sun god at noonday from the Egyptians. And it's not a deity, he's a mortal male. Joseph Smith refers to him as a future Mormon. Doctrine and Covenants, section 103, verse 16. And so even in the Book of Mormon, he's referred to in the passage that also talks about Joseph Smith being a prophecy, which is hilarious once you understand that they are not literal history, that they did not come from brass plates, Egyptian gold plates rather, I mean. Even the brass plates talked about in the Book of Mormon is also a symbolic understanding of things for the latter days. Which, by the way, I've already done it, in case you were wondering. The sealed portion, dear God, Christopher, stop. Please stop. I know, you fooled Mormons, good for you, but stop. Please don't continue. Just stop. Joke's over. You've already been caught on camera revealing that it was a joke. So just stop. Because there are too many Mormons now, or ex-Mormons, who are like, Christopher's still, oh, he's so true, it's real. They've gone too far now. So please, just stop. And so, how does death refer to the latter days? Well, the Book of Mormon helps us out with that. And the death on the cross should have been your clue in the Gospels texts, apocalypses of the Gospels, or renamed as Gospels, because it has to do with the death sign in heaven. And this requires a little bit of an understanding of the ancient world, in which the sun and the moon corresponded with the human eyes, specifically of Horus, the son of Osiris and Isis, who was to restore the throne in the latter days. The sun is for the right eye and refers to government. Left eye, moon, religion. And so the sun shall be darkened, moon turned to blood, not only lunar and solar eclipses, but also government and the great and abominable church collapsing. But the death sign for governments, so that the kingdom of Zion can be restored, not by tricking the government into passing the Respect for Marriage Act, as their intention is to overthrow the government to restore their kingdom. That was not Joseph's intention. 19 July 1840b from the Joseph Smith Papers. And there's a reason why Brigham Young did not publish it in his Doctrine and Covenants. And so, 11. And so after the climate change disasters of the latter days, after the election fraud attempt in the midterms, we have a group of survivors who make it to the Promised Land. And it's not Missouri. 19 July 1840b. And so, yeah, this concerns me that Mormons refuse to know the real location. So that when Utah is destroyed, I'm really hoping this year is the bicentennial of the day that shall burn as an oven. Keep your fingers crossed. But that's what the symbolism here is talking about. They're round about the temple, which was in the land Bountiful. Bountiful is compared to paradise. Lehi names the place over by Saudi Arabia where the monsoons hit. Not a literal history, but calls it Bountiful because it's paradise. And so that's what we're looking at here. Is these are codes. Nephi is a code for the new name of the latter-day Christ, Emmanuel. New name? Temple? Should I even go over that? Should we waste time on this? Did they learn their lesson after I filed a complaint with the chief of police again? LDS, Temple... New names. Okay. All right. So, for Nephi, we need to go back in time, because it was not from January 4th, 2014 to the present. It's not listed in... not listed in January 22nd, 1993 to December 28th, 2013. Where'd you getting this? Where is it? Oh my goodness, where is it, Travis? Tell us. Sacred secret. But you will find it in the one and only place, 11th of June, 1983 to January 12th, 1993. And it's on the 6th day of the month. And so those of you who go to the temple regularly or have been a temple veil worker or temple worker would know this information, as I would know. But here they tell us when each name was for each day of the month. And so the 6th day of the month. And so then, I'm helping you with Revelation, guys, in case you're catching on. And so we would have to go to timeanddate.com, and we know the date of his actual birth is March 17th, 1970. But we need to go to when he would have gone through the temple at 19 years of age, right? Because it was Monson who changed it to 18. So prior to that, under Benson, when the change was made, or actually it was Kimball still, in 83, wasn't it? It was 86 when he came out with his Youth of the Noble Birthright, condemning Metallica's Master of Puppets album that came out in March, so the month before. So we need 1989. And so the 6th would be on Friday in January, Monday on February. So that can't be it. Temples weren't open on Mondays back then. Monday again in March. April on a Thursday. And Saturday in May. Tuesday in June. Notice I paused there. There's a reason. Thursday in July. Sunday in August. So nope. Wednesday in September. And Friday in October. Monday in November. So nope. And then Wednesday in December. So the only day it could have been is May anyway. And you're going, well, no, you can go to the temple any day to take out your endowments and blah, 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 blah. No. You do not know church cultural practice of the ritual. When you're outside of Utah, they have specific Saturdays for those who are going on missions or getting sealed in the temple or just doing it for themselves. And so it's always on a Saturday. And which temple is he supposed to go through? We know this from the Gospels, because the birth of Jesus is heralded at the temple of angels. So which temple would that be, Mormons? Los Angeles. Yep, sure enough. So it used to be the Los Angeles Dodgers. Now they're the California Dodgers. But yeah, Los Angeles Temple, 6th of May, 1989. He would have gotten the new name of Nephi. And thus the vision of Nephi appearing to Joseph Smith, talking about the Egyptian gold plates and the end of the world. Ta-da! All symbolically trying to teach us about who to look for as Mormons. Because I did say section 103, verse 16, right? So I don't have to repeat that again in this video, as I just did. And so the people of Nephi, the people who are of the Church of the Lamb, that comes from Revelation 19 as a symbol of him. And why? Because of the death sign. They're gathered together at the temple in Bountiful. That's the Zion Temple. 19 July 1840 B. Pyramid cities. Mountains of the Lord. With capstones. Not chief cornerstone of the cornerstones. Dear God, you guys are supposed to catch on to this. When he pulls why are you guys so fooled easily? And so it's the death sign. And they were conversing about this Jesus Christ. It's Emmanuel, son at noonday, the mortal man who is a Mormon. Because these are Mormons. We're just looking into the future here. When in the future? Oh no, we don't know. Yes, we do. The sign given concerning his death. 8 April 2024. That's the sign of his death. Because Jupiter, who is the child born of the Virgin out in outer space, Revelation 12, that's Jupiter. Because Jupiter, in astronomy, retrogrades for a period of a pregnancy. And so you even know the conception with Revelation chapter 12 sign, which is Isaiah's sign. A sign I give unto you, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son. He's telling us the dates of when this is to occur. And Matthew purposely takes out sign. Purposely takes out Isaiah. Crazy. And then names him Jesus after even saying it's supposed to be Emmanuel. It's because it's apocalyptic literature. And so that's the death sign. The solar eclipse on that day, which is in his birth constellation of Pisces. 17th of March, 1970. He's a Pisces. And so the sign of his death, which is interesting because St. Patrick was created as a myth by the English Druids. Am I able to continue? Let's find out. And so solar eclipses are death signs. The solar eclipse is in Pisces on the back of the white horse, Revelation 19. But Jupiter is in the Lamb constellation, also called Ram. And if you're unfamiliar with the sign of Abraham sacrificing Isaac, they go to the top of the mountain, Utah, and he's about to sacrifice his son, but an angel appears. Mercury is the messenger of the gods, and he says, well done, my good and faithful servant. You don't kill him. Here's a ram. But if you read the story, it talks about a lamb for the sacrifice, and then a ram. It's the same thing. Small cattle. And so this is the sign that they're referring to here. Abraham sacrificing Isaac is a different sign, but the Book of Mormon incorporates it. But you don't know it's incorporating it only through Lehi left Jerusalem 600 years before the birth of Christ. It's hilarious. Once you know this, you know that the Book of Mormon the major author was Sidney Rigdon. They had to finish the book because of William Morgan getting caught, and Joseph Smith Sr. as the Master Mason, who was helping William Morgan write the book, took on the responsibility to finish the publication of the book. Gave it to Sidney Rigdon because he's way out in Ohio, far away from all the controversy of people trying to find out who caused this, and the enemy wanting to murder whoever freed him, and find the manuscripts so they can destroy it, because it's exposing their plot for the latter days to overthrow America and establish the kingdom of Deseret and have child bride marriages and polygamy. Oh, whoops. Did I reveal sacred secrets? Am I supposed to kill myself now? Blatantly obvious they're the bad guys. Even when I went through the temple for my mission, which was before. So yes, it is coincidental, isn't it? Yeah, I had to, right there, the first time I exposed her to the church, thinking, oh yeah, it's Jesus, and blah, blah, blah. And oh, we love everybody, spread the news about the truth. Kill yourself, Travis. Holy crap, what church did I get into? Yeah, well, it's the Great and Abominable Church. But dear God. And so, yeah, and then he comes down from outer space. Wow, out of space. And so, yeah, the death sign with the cross, because 8 April 2024 crosses over 21 of August 2017, which is from Samson, by the way. Samson kills the lion. Lion constellation had the solar eclipse that year. It was also in my Egyptian calendar that I had obtained was the Egyptian calendar religious New Year, which that doesn't happen every year. It's a lunar calendar for the civil religious, or the religious calendar, and it blows my mind because the Egyptians knew about it, and they predate 12,000 BCE. That's how long mankind has known about this. And solar eclipses, they know it crosses over America because solar eclipses are a specific line over specific parts of the world whenever they happen. Because they didn't happen in the same place, did they? They're different places and they cross. We know this. The science of astronomy knows this. So did the Egyptians many, many, many thousands of years ago. And they wrote about it and they told us about it for the future. And it was transmitted through communication errors, linguistic errors over time, and encoded in story form, but we know that they knew, and they knew they know they knew. And so, this stuff is wild, guys, and it sucks that you still stick with Jesus, because you're losing, and literally, what happened after Christianity was formed? We call that period of time the Dark Ages. Jesus of light and truth. And we go into Dark Ages? Exactly. And so the resurrection is the restoration of the kingdom. And here we have not only King David, we not only have the Egyptian original religion and kingdom, we also have Joseph Smith, who was murdered. His church was usurped and changed. That needs to be restored. The temple rituals of Joseph need to be restored. Section 85, verse 7. All of you know that one. The one mighty and strong. He's the one who's supposed to set in order the temple, the house of God. And then the ascension, that's the sign in the heavens with the death sign, ascending in heaven. And so that's how it's supposed to be interpreted. So when Jesus is talking with his wife Mary in the book of John, and she goes to sexually embrace him, he tells her, not yet. We have not had the marriage supper wedding feast of the Lamb on 8 April 2024. That's what he's saying. I have not yet ascended. The sign in the heavens. So, there you have it. Revelation 19, in case you're like, what? And then section 58 for Joseph Smith's version of that. Marriage supper, wedding feast of the Lamb at the temple.